Good morning to you all. Good morning to you all. Thank you. It is indeed my pleasure to be here, and I would say possibly one of the first regional conferences where at least I am looking at with IT as the starting subject. I think it calls for a lot of courage on behalf of the chairman and the organizers to put IT as the first in an SIRC conference, but it's also the foresight, because we'll see during this session how important IT is really going to be. I'll just set this up. If somebody can help me to set this up. Now, having gone through bank audits and quite a lot of other corporate audits, many of us already realize that somewhere, that confidence of what used to be in the manual environment is kind of getting shaky unless and until we need to find ways and means of getting through this computerized environment. Okay, I'm going to start with two questions. The first question is, I'm sure all of you understand what this is here. I don't have to tell you at all, yeah? Can you tell me what is that? Keralites. Thrissur Puram, no? Now, the big question is, does Thrissur Puram have anything common with the audit profession? I'll keep this thought with you. Next question. Sharing of passwords, can it be considered material to statutory audit? We'll leave these two questions with you. I'll come back to you a little later. Let us just sift through this. Let us look at how business is happening today. Many of us are aware, but this is just to recount how exactly business is happening today and where it is going. Now, we are getting to the age of what is called extended enterprises. Let us just recount those days. The most simplest thing we could do is the bank branch. And in a bank branch, you could never have the books of accounts, the holy, sacrosanct things which could never be touched by anybody else beyond the bankers. And today, if you really see, the banking information is on the streets. Do you agree with me? If you see, in this air here, there is banking information. Agree? Internet banking is happening here. It is here. So all this information, which is the most sensitive of the lot, is actually available somewhere here. Because we are into the wireless age. We are into the age of collaborations. We are into the age of technological mesh. So what exactly does it mean? What we are really looking at is each of your stakeholders, as you see here, whether it's your customers who are already into your network. I mean, if you go to a bank site today, you can automatically apply for a loan, you can get it appraised online, you can see your bank balances, you can do transactions. So you're actually operating the bank systems, which was never possible earlier. Let us look at this. Your suppliers, any kind of industry, if you especially take the large industries, especially if you take the automobile majors or any of them, you already see that what we talked about just in time in inventory, what we talked about electronic data interchange, that is kind of so meshed now that if you prepare, let us say, a production program in a particular factory, it's already there on the vendor's desktop there. It's already configuring his systems. And the moment his item is shipped, automatically it comes into your, the company system. So what we are really looking at here is, you're looking at a completely meshing of the transaction systems. Now, e-government, which was kind of utopian some years back, is reality now. All of us see that your OLTA systems or your return filing, everything is online. When you take the kind of systems of banking, gone are the days when you had to really go and look at a corporate counter separately in a bank. Everybody does internet banking sitting in their own cozy offices. So you're looking at millions of money being transferred using just internet banking options. So you're looking at a complete meshing of, you don't know where the border or the boundary of an enterprise starts, where does it end when it comes to the digital infrastructure of a company. Now let us just quickly go through something that we all know. But when you are looking at this, I'd like you to relook at it from an enterprise. Like, let us say all of us can relate to a large bank, which is on core banking system, which is offering internet banking, which is offering mobile banking, which is offering voice banking, IVRS, voice-based systems. You're looking at integration with various vendors. So if you really look at this, let us look at what Caro had to say right in 2004. One of the requirements for the auditor is to comment upon adequate internal control systems exist commensurate with the size of the company and the nature of its business, you know for what, etc. And also to comment upon any continuing failure to correct any major weaknesses in the internal control system, comment upon the internal audit system being commensurate with the size and nature of business, and also to report on material fraud. Let us look at what internal audit is to say. This is our own definition, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India's definition of internal audit: independent management function which involves the continuous and critical appraisal of the functioning of an entity. And it talks about quite a lot, but it includes the focus on entity's risk management and the internal control system. In fact, the Institute of Internal Auditors goes on to saying that it involves a systematic, disciplined approach to evaluate, improve the effectiveness of risk management, control, and governance processes. Just let us look at it from the view of signing the balance sheet of a bank or of a corporate institution that is now on ERP or on CBS. We know the level of confidence that we have. But can we undermine the need to look at effectiveness of internal controls in such environments is the big question. Let us go into the management responsibility on this. If you really see, let us take a large corporate which is completely automated. You are looking at completely diverse systems, vendor systems talking to their systems, government systems talking to their system, customers already interacting with them through their systems, employees already there onto those systems. So you're looking at a pretty meshed system here, and look at these statements in this context when it is being made. All of us are aware about SEBI Clause 49 requirements where it requires the CEO, CFO certification. Let us look at such an enterprise and the kind of, the certification that is being done. You are saying that you have reviewed the financial statements and the cash flow for the year. It contains no materially untrue statement or omission of fact or are not misleading. Imagine the person who is sitting at the top there and looking at the financial figures, which is coming from a ERP. He doesn't know how many systems talk within that. There could be a separate payroll system, there could be a treasury system, there could be a lot of these systems talking to each other. Now all these are, mind you, transaction systems. And these transaction systems is what really bring this ultimate decoction, which is your financial statements. Now when we really see this, what is the confidence of this person sitting at the top? Saying that when he's making these statements, what is the basis of saying all this? One is regarding omission of material fact. Okay. From the sense of the organization, you can see that. Two, not misleading. Well, again, from the sense of the organization. When I say sense, you're looking at the broad figures. Are in compliance with the existing accounting standards, applicable laws and regulations. Very dangerous statement. What is applicable laws and regulations? You got to be very careful about it when you define it. Because you have now an Information Technology Act amendment last year, which has brought in a very unique provision on body corporates saying that you are responsible to ensure that you protect the security as regards private information of your customers. If you don't do that, the implications are up to 5 crores of damages and 3 years of imprisonment. So when we really look at this, just an example of one of those laws and regulations. So the idea is, we are looking at, is there the confidence within this system which is completely automated? Earlier, where I had an army of people whom I could go and say, okay, have you checked this? Are you okay with that? And it's completely replaced by a set of systems. So looking at